When we think about things being haunted, we normally think of graveyards and asylums. However, some of the most haunted places in the world are the roads we drive on. In this video, we count down 5 haunted roads. Clinton Road in New Jersey has no shortage of terrifying tales. Phantom headlights are said to come out of nowhere and follow drivers dangerously close, then disappear into thin air. There are stories of an abandoned circus zoo that got involved with crossbreeding, resulting in a possessed albino deer. Then there's Ghost Boy Bridge. According to the stories, a little boy drowned there years ago, and if you throw a coin over the bridge he'll throw one back. It should be noted there is more than one bridge located on Clinton Road, and nobody knows for sure which one the Ghost Boy supposedly hangs out beneath. A second bridge is located several miles to the south of Dead Man's Curve, just above the old stone iron furnace. This deserted and dangerous road located off Route 23 in West Milford has no homes along the road, and no connecting roads. Clinton Road is very curvy and keeps winding around beneath the bodies of water. It's gained notoriety over the years as an area rife with many legends of paranormal occurrences, such as sightings of ghosts, strange creatures, and gathering of witches. Mysterious figures can be seen when driving on this road, and many have said they feel uneasy while driving on it. Shadow people are also a common sight on this road. They're typically seen moving at night in the most common form of ghost that people witness. Shadow people often flee in the presence of people in physical bodies, especially if they realise they've been detected, and are often seen out of the corner of one's eye. This is common on this road. One witness said they was driving on the road and witnessed 2 shadow figures. As they slowed down to get a better look, they vanished. The witness described them as hovering black masses. The road is also notorious for having the country's longest traffic light wait. This occurs at a double intersection where Route 23 crosses the road. The 2 lights can cause motorists to wait for 5 minutes in total. Not ideal when you're on one of America's most haunted roads. Located in Pennsylvania, Kelly Road is a 1-mile section that has numerous reports of paranormal activity and bizarre happenings. The road is surrounded by thick and creepy forests, and it's said that when animals enter this area of the road they suddenly turn from peaceful and quiet to raging and violent, attacking other animals and even people. Rumours suggest the haunting is due to cult activity that once took place near the road, and curses that have been put on the land for some reason. Many strange apparitions have been seen here, including shadow people. Again, when witnesses try to focus on them, they simply disappear. In Stevens Point, Wisconsin, there's a stretch of road that runs through the woods. It's unpaved with little around to recommend itself, but many will still often wander down it curious to see whether the stories connected to it are true. It's called Boy Scout Lane, and it's on this small stretch of road that a group of Boy Scouts some 20 years ago are believed to have lost their lives. As is frequently the case with this sort of folklore, there exists a number of variations on the main theme. In most variations of the story, the Scouts meet an unfortunate end. Some stories say that the boys vanish one by one, never to be seen again, and yet in other versions of the tale they are victims of their own folly. The Scouts wandering away from their campsite drop their lantern, starting a forest fire that results in the incineration of the entire group. It's believed their spirits haunt this road, and many witnesses have come forward claiming to have seen them. The longest road in England is also said to be one of the most haunted. The road itself has existed for roughly 2,000 years, and was even used by Roman soldiers during the Roman occupation of England. Motorists making their way down this road have experienced unusual phenomena, like Roman soldiers marching and upset women trying to hitch a ride in a driverless pickup truck. Some travellers have also reported seeing eyes looking at them from the bushes around Manchester, in which there was a serious mining disaster many years ago. The ghost of Bluebell Hill is one of the most famous ghost stories ever to come out of Kent. It's been reported in a number of national newspapers over the years, with many repeat experiences. Unsuspecting motorists have witnessed a woman running out in front of their cars late at night, often locking eyes with them before being hit and vanishing. No evidence of a collision has ever been found, nor has there ever been a victim found either. It's believed to be the ghost of a woman who died in a car accident in 1965, near the bridge over the old Chatham Road. 2 cars were involved in the collision, and 3 out of the 4 women in one car died. One of the women was a bride-to-be who was due to wed the following day. As well as the reports of ghosts jumping in front of cars, there have also been reported experiences of a female hitchhiker on Bluebell Hill. Motorists pull over to pick her up only for her to disappear from the back seat shortly after setting off. 4 years after the accident, a man on his way home from Rochester late at night saw 2 pedestrians walking towards him, then suddenly disappear. On another occasion he witnessed the pedestrians again, walking across the road, however this time a car drove straight through them. In the early hours of July 13th, 1974, Maurice Goodenough, a bricklayer from Rochester, was driving through Bluebell Hill when a young girl suddenly jumped in front of his car. He said the following: "The girl just walked out in front of me from the edge of the road. My car hit her with a hell of a bang." He jumped out of the car to tend to the girl who he found lying in the road, with a cut to her forehead and grazes on her knees. He covered her with a blanket and tried to wave down passers-by, but no one would stop. He thought it would be unwise to try and move her into his car, so he rushed off to Rochester Police Station to report what had happened. They returned to the scene to find nothing but the blanket Goodenough had placed over her. A search was called in the nearby area, but there was no success. The search resumed at dawn with tracker dogs, but no scent, tracks or blood could be found. A check on hospital admissions as well as a newspaper appeal for the missing child were carried out, but nobody stepped forward. Goodenough was interviewed by the News of the World that Saturday night, and was obviously still shaken and adamant that he'd in fact hit a girl. He said, "I'm not going mad, but where did she vanish? I'm still shaking from the experience." The press jumped to the assumption that the girl must have been a ghost. Their research about the incident in 1965, as well as the legend of the hitchhiking ghost, resulted in the conclusion that the girl must have been a ghost. The fact that it was a girl, her appearance in the vicinity of the 1965 crash, her vanishing after the incident, and the fact Goodenough's car wasn't damaged all point to this conclusion. It was late one Sunday evening in November, when Ian Sharp, a 54-year-old coach driver, was on his way home to Maidstone, when a young woman appeared directly in front of his car. The woman strangely stared right into his eyes before he hit her, with the body going under the bonnet. Mortified, he slammed on his brakes and jumped out to help the woman. He said the following: "You can't imagine how I felt. I was so scared to look underneath, but I knelt down and looked straight through. He looked around the car and the side of the road but found no one." So sure he was of hitting a woman, he went to the police station at Rochester to tell them about the incident. Aware of the area and its reports, the police went on to explain the legend that surrounds the area. Nevertheless, the police returned with him to the scene, and sure enough the search turned up nothing. Ian Sharp later described it as the most terrifying experience of his life. Also, later that month and year, 2 motorists reported hitting a woman wearing a red scarf, near the Robin Hood Lane junction at Bluebell Hill. They searched and informed the police, but yet again no body was found. Another story goes that a man was driving on the road when he saw a woman. He slowed down and asked if she wanted a lift. She didn't speak but nodded. The man opened the car door and let her in. However, 5 minutes into their journey he turned back to look at the woman and she had disappeared. He states that he still hasn't gotten over the experience years later. He said that she gave him a strange feeling inside, but except for that she looked very normal. He never believed in the paranormal but really can't explain what happened that evening. So what do you think? There seems to be many stories that match one another. Let me know in the comments what you think these people are seeing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more countdown videos.